Okay, so Monday, August 24th for language arts, you're going to go to your collections textbook and you're going to find My Favorite Chaperone. It starts on page 3. You're going to read pages 3 through 12 and then answer on page 28, numbers 1 through 3, and the vocabulary questions. So I'm just going to briefly show you where that's at and give you a little explanation. All right, so here is your collections textbook. Right. California Collections, and you're going to be starting on page 3. Oops. Okay, so page 3. All right, so My Favorite Chaperone. Now, if you are not familiar with this word chaperone, it means usually it's like an adult or somebody who goes along like to a dance and just kind of like watches the kids and makes sure they behave. So that's what a chaperone is, right? So that kind of gives you a hint as to what might be a part of this story. Okay, so you're going to read pages 3 through 12. Okay, and then you're going to answer the questions that go along with those pages. So on page 28, right, you can see that there are, let me zoom in a little bit, right, 3 questions. And so they do tell you which lines to look at for those questions that will help you. But in order to really, get the main idea of the story, you do need to read those pages. Okay, and then right, once you guys have read it and answered the questions, then we can talk about it a little bit more. And then the other part of your assignment for today is the critical vocabulary. Right, so these words are sponsor, stun, dispatcher, scuffle, whimper. So a sponsor, you guys usually, maybe you've gotten a sponsor for sports or something like that, and they kind of pay money to help you with the activity. So in this case, they're talking about an immigration sponsor. So it's someone who kind of agrees that they will help support or take care of you and make sure that the person who is immigrating to the country is able to be successful. Okay, to stun someone is to shock them. A dispatcher is someone who usually over a radio gives out directions. And so, there's a police dispatcher. So when someone calls in and needing help from the police, the dispatcher calls out to the different police officers and gives them that information. A scuffle is kind of maybe a small fight, like, wrestling type of thing, kind of not a big fight, but a small fight. And a whimper is like a soft cry, like a dog would whimper or a puppy might whimper. Okay, so what you're going to do is, you're going to answer these questions, and hold on just a second. Right. If you look in your packet, let me zoom out a little bit here. And if you look in your folder, right, you're going to see here's a place to answer number 1 that we talked about, and number 2, and then I made a chart for number 3, just like in your book. So, right, so just like these questions, you're going to answer them in this packet, okay? And then for the vocabulary, you just need to flip, right? And you're going to see here, it says critical vocabulary, page 29. So then you'll answer right here. So first of all, what you're going to do is you're going to write down the definition of sponsor. Well, guess what? All of these words are in the back of your book. Now, if you have a computer, you're welcome to look them up. But if you look back here, you're going to find the glossary for critical vocabulary words. They're back here. Let's see where, I don't know exactly, but they're here. I know they're here because the kids get them every year. Critical vocabulary, right here, the very glossary of critical vocabulary. So R81. So, you can just go back there and get the definition, and you're going to write it on the line. So sponsor, right? If you sponsor someone, you support his or her admission into a group. So you're going to write that here on the line, and then you'll answer number 1. Okay. If someone agreed to sponsor you, would you be annoyed or grateful?